All right, we've got some 5-minute chess, and we got some First Peter 5, 5 to 7. And let's get this game rolling. Where is my play button? Here we go. Yeah, so I finally got this thing where I can chat with people. Squeezing my screens like this. Looks like I'm playing Ikustra from Croatia. All right, God bless you, whoever you are in the world. Ikustra. Yeah, so we're looking at First Peter 5. And I anticipate that I may lose this game because it's about humility. I think, we don't often think of humility and pride in categories of spiritual warfare. Satan has helped us to helped us. He has part of his warfare as an angel of light is to keep the ghost stuff over to the side and manipulate character issues in the dark. And he attacks people by making them proud. Let's see what we got going on here. Um, so you can see here, I've actually made this one a little bit longer. It's First Peter 5, 5 to 7. In the same way, you who are younger, submit to your elders. Submit to your elders. So that submission is going to lead into a question of humility. All of you clothe yourself with humility. I love that. Think about, that's sort of like this modesty, like the effect of humility towards a person. It's Let's see if we can sneak in on his rook here. Um, yeah, that's going to pull it open. See, I like that it opens up this lane and he sees that. I don't really want to give up my queen. So I'm going to just come over here and let him hopefully spread himself out some. Ah, okay. So am I about to get myself in trouble here? I think I'm okay. I mean, I could go here and go for the trade, but I'll stay on the white pieces since he lost his white bishop. I have no bishops. All right. What's he trying to do? It's okay. Doesn't matter. He may come down here, which is fine. So that like modesty is the word I'm using for that type of humility, clothing yourself with humility towards the other person. It's obnoxious to not be clothed. And I mean, you may think of that in kind of like a dirty turn on sort of a way, but most of the time when nakedness is being talked about in the scriptures, it's actually a shameful for both parties sort of thing that's being talked about. Um, it's um, it's offensive. It's offensive. Um, let's see here. What do we want to do? When somebody's trying to force you into a queen trade like this, I just don't know. It can be problematic to try to avoid it for too long. It's more like trading on your terms. I come up here and just see if it can be fun to pull my knight up here. If he tries to chase him off, then I have this. So, so thinking of, let me go ahead and double up right there. Thinking of that posturing of ourselves with humility towards one another. And for younger people, that means to be in submission to those who are elders, and that word, without me diving into the Greek here, presbyteros, is probably meant in a church, as a church elder. If I can get up here and double on that, he could always pull down here. He may move this down, which will start to threaten. If so, I'll pull this guy up. So that's a real practical part of, so he's going to try to split me here. That's okay. I don't mind losing that pawn there. And I'll just pop back up over here. So now, is he pinned? No, he can come here and check me. And then where does he go? Okay. So he wants to do a little trade, which works pretty well for me. I'll just go ahead and take that. Yeah. So let's keep going here. All of you clothe yourself with humility towards one another. And then it gives a reason because God is opposed to the proud. God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Interesting. Where's that quote from? I'm not going to be able to look it up without losing this game. He's going to try to come and trade with me here. So what do I want to do in response to that? Because I'm not a big fan of that. I can't swing over here. Can't come down. I mean, I can actually. I'll come here and then come back if he. So I want to stay in possession of this lane, which is exactly what he's trying to do. Um, I'm going to come here and kind of forcing him around here. If he comes here, I'll just come and guard. Okay, this last part I find really fascinating. Okay, he wants to trade that and spread, kind of messes his pawns up some, so I don't really mind doing that. Um, and he's got, it feels like a better pawn situation than I have, but maybe not. So I can come here. Now, if he moves either of these, I'm passing. So it's going to be one of those games of who makes the first pawn mistake. If he comes here, okay, not a problem. I can come and take this pawn over here. Slow down just a little bit here. Now here's where I can go. So like that, he's now in trouble because that pawn is passed. I don't mind if he takes that because I've got a queen if he does that. Now, will he try to move this guy down? Yeah. But still, there's no way he can. So at this point, I can come here. I can just kind of move my way over. So I guess maybe this isn't the day I'm going to get fully humbled. Let's go ahead and just eliminate this dude. I should be able to just kind of manipulate this situation. Maybe I should have gone up. Yeah. He's gonna, he can't come down or it's kind of game over. So I can go ahead and already start moving this piece up. Now he's got to make a choice. I've won this game basically. He can't, yeah, he may just go ahead and quit here. He'll go there. Let's see, now I've got a queen. Look at the last part of this. Humble yourselves, therefore. Now you humble towards elders, but humble yourselves under God's mighty hand. God's mighty hand. Okay. Why? That he may lift you up in due time, because he gives favor to the humble and he's opposed to the proud. So being proud, good game. Let me just give this guy a good game and tell him I'm gonna stream this online. Have a great day and God bless. So humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up. Okay. Because you're no longer, if you're proud, and this could be in ministry, this could be in any sort of context, that pride or that sort of like using this for your own good makes you an enemy of God. You're not lifting God up. You're not exalting God. You're trying to be in that place in small ways and large ways. So you're no longer at enmity with him whenever you're humble. Um, and then look at this last part. I mean, what a verse, what a line for the age of anxiety that we live in. Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. What's the connection between anxiety and pride? I think there's a lot. I mean, I think that's been proven. It's counterintuitive. Hey, I'm okay, go ahead. Close the door, sweetie. Yep. Go ahead. Yeah, you can watch the show. I'm watching one of the kids and she's being a little wants to watch a movie. Cast your anxieties on him. So the anxiety that we cast on him frees us to be humble. So look at how Jesus, in I think it's Luke chapter 13. So Luke chapter 13, where he washes the disciples' feet. He's able to be humble. It says taking himself, taking off his outer garment and making water and washing their feet. Just a shocking, a culturally mind-blowing move of humility by a Jewish leader, because it gives us some omniscient narrative theology in the top of that. It says Jesus, knowing that all things were his, and knowing where he came from, that he came from God and that he's returning to God, got up, removed his outer garment, and washed the disciples' feet. The security, the lack of anxiety that he had, the what Edward Friedman calls a non-anxious presence in the world. That non-anxious presence in the world is itself humble around God. Think about it. We're all anxious about our future and our economy and what is God going to take care of me? All of that anxiety is really based in pride. It's based in an idea that I have to go be God in this unfair, brutal world. And there is not a God with a mighty hand that lifts those up. And so there's a path of humility and a path of a lack of anxiety. Yes, I said yes. Yep, you're good. Turn it on. Close the door. That Layla's got intellectual disabilities and speech impairment, so she's one of the challenges in my life, and I get worn out or worked up sometimes, and that's how God just like works and refines me. But she's also the sweetest thing in the world. So cast your anxieties on the Father, guys. Look at every opportunity for anxiety and pride and humility as a satanic chessboard with God playing the white pieces and ready to move in your life. Um, how can you apply that today? How can you submit to your elders? How can you be modest towards one another? Put on clothing, in ways that you're just causing offense to people with your pride. I know that's been a sin that I have had and do still struggle with. And I don't want to be against God. I don't want to be opposing him or have him opposing me. So I'm going to humble ourselves, therefore, under his mighty hand, that he will lift you up. Now, this was a verse that I looked in my, was like, oh, I don't actually even have this in my memory. Thing. So I'm just going to try it now and see if we can memorize it. I highly recommend that you memorize a memory verse every day, or it doesn't have to be like word for word. I can just rattle this thing off. But a verse that you carry with you, put it on a post-it note, stick it on your car, stick it on your laptop, literally write it on your wrist or your hand. Just just have a verse that you just get all the meat off the bone on that little chicken wing that day, and then you suck the marrow out of it and make it part of who you are, because that not only gives you wisdom to play the chess game, it empowers you. It gives you connection with God himself, a renewal of the mind and the emotions, and guides the will. It will change you. Okay. In the same way, you who are younger, submit yourself to your elders, and all of you clothe yourself with humility to one another. Because I was going to say, brothers, God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Always have a hard time memorizing verses when I'd memorized it in another version, but shows favor to the humble, because I think it shows grace, but shows favor here is a good translation for what is meant in the context. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5, 5 through 7. What's really interesting, if you want to go study some more, is what's the next verse after 5, 7 is 5, 8. You have an enemy, the devil, prowling like a roaring lion, trying to eat you. So so it's like, be sober minded. An enemy, the devil, is trying to eat you. How is he trying to eat you? Potentially through your anxieties and through your pride and through in the community, through alienating yourself from each other with lack of submission to your pastors and elders, lack of humility towards each other, and causing offense that way and turning people off. Man, praise God. Hey, watch another chess video here. I'll be making some more, and this one will link to another one. And I'd love to just have you hang out with me and do some chess and do some Bible together. God bless.